I know it's difficult to see, but it's 6:20. I'm leaving camp, following the trail. The sun should be coming up very, very shortly. So I'm taking a chance on following the trail here. It looks like it's pretty well indicated. There's a road up ahead. I'm going to try and make it at least there, you know, point 1, point 2, as the sun's coming up. And my goal is to go to the Oki shelter if I can. It's 23.4 miles. So every minute that I could be walking counts. It's 6:26. There's a sign facing the south way that I just came as I'm coming to this Forest Service road. That's where you typically see the signs telling you where you are and what you're doing. I'm going to keep going. And there's a tree with a blue blaze, so I'm very happy to see that. The trail widens out here. Looks like this has been maintained lately, or the grass is really cut short here. Had a good night last night, comparatively. It was a little sweaty, not as bad. The temperatures are slightly, probably a little cooler, but I think my mental attitude is more the reason. I also set my alarm for 5:40 or 5:45 and made a promise that I would not get up and get out and do anything until the alarm went off. I actually fell asleep a couple of times and had some good sleep. Just woke up just because, you know, I would shift or turn or flip over, or I was too hot or too cold. Definitely needed a sleeping bag last night. It got chilly, probably in the mid to low 60s. Got a little chilly with just the liner. And here we go. There's a sign for us, letting us know that we're at Forest Service 500. And Burns Trailhead is 8 miles. Chacaloco shelter is 7. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's getting lighter. I can almost navigate. I really could navigate probably without my headlight. I'm going to put it away in a minute. Just crossed this stream using this log. Definitely the slowest and the most probably briskest crossing I've made so far. Probably could have gone several different ways or maybe moved downstream and look for a spot, but definitely interesting. I'm going to continue. It's now 8 o'clock. And I've gone 4.5 miles so far, according to my watch. It's probably pretty accurate. So I'll check in soon. Hopefully I'll come by that shelter. I don't know if I'll take the side road. It's a couple of 100 yards, I think, or 100 yards off the trail to the shelter. So trail has been pretty easy, been more or less following the low-lying terrain along several streams. There's been ample water. I have not drank anything since I left my camp, so I still have 2 liters of water. I know there's a dry spell coming up, but I have plenty for now, and I should be good. It's 10 minutes to 9. Walking along, I just finished a narrow section. It was overgrown. There were a couple of blowdowns. It's passable, but it's on a cliff side, sort of on a slope. So you got to go really careful, because if you misstep, you're going down, you know, sliding down the hill. So just opened up into this little wider and more gentler area where I have a larger tread. So on the slope, the tread is basically just as wide as your foot, or very narrow, and in a couple of places it's kind of washed out or slippery. You got to be really careful. This section is much better, so I figured let me record. It's 9:20. I'm coming up on mile probably 142 or thereabouts. The shelter should be just up ahead, a short distance. Coming to this open field with this nice pathway. I've walked almost 7 miles, just under 7 miles, in about 3 hours or so. Unfortunately, all the grass and everything is wet, so of course it's getting my shoes wet again. But too bad the whole path isn't this way, huh? This is beautiful. Here's the other side. You can see the stream. I'm assuming that I guess water passes through from one side of this hill to the other. I've passed over that, I don't know if it's a levee, a dam, or whatever, road there. Here's the sign. The Choco Loco shelter is up this way, but I'm going to continue on the path of the Pinhoti. Time is important to me because of the distance that I'm trying to go. And I know I've been slowed down by some of the passages. So I'm eager to keep moving. And I'll just wait till I think the next 5 or 7 miles, that's where I can get water again. I have 2 liters still. So I have not touched any water. It's 10 o'clock now. I'm coming back to Forest Service 500 again. Keep crossing this road several times. I've gone about 8, probably 8.5 miles, I think, today. Something like that, or close to it. And looks like we're going across the road and going to continue on our way. Well, I'm about mile 145 or thereabouts. It's almost 11:45. This has been constant blowdowns like this that I've had to go around, crawl through, crawl under, go up around. I should be coming to a stretch where there's mountain laurels, and supposedly there's a big blowdown there as well. But after a couple hundred feet, I'm expecting, hopefully, to come out into some clear trail maybe where I can make a little better time. It's been slowing me down. You just got to go slow or climb over, climb under, whatever you need to do. I just thought I recorded a whole segment, and of course, wasn't recording. I just went through that laurel slick, which was a nice tunnel of green. I thought I was recording it, but I guess I didn't. So there were no blowdowns over there, luckily. Here I'm coming to more blowdowns again. It's slowing me down as I make my way through. My clothes have taken a beating. I know my shirt has a couple of tears or pulls in it, and I got a lot of stickies from all the seeds sticking to it. The pants also have a couple of scuff marks, or I might even have a tear or two. I'm not sure, from sharp pieces of wood or thorns that I've gotten stuck. I've been pretty fortunate. I've been able to get by all the blowdowns by crawling underneath, climbing over, a little bit of acrobatics. You just get inventive. It's like a puzzle, but it does slow you down a little bit. And I'm continuing my upward trend. I've probably come up about 700-800 feet in the last 2-3 miles as we're climbing up the mountain. And I believe I have almost 1,000 feet more to go. I'm probably about 800 or 900. And I know the top of the mountain is at around 1,900 or 2,000, just under 2,000. So the next couple of miles are trending upward. So definitely slowing me down a little bit and taking effort, in addition to the blowdowns. Hopefully we like stair step up, and there's some switchbacks which make it a little easier to do and can let me keep my mileage going. Good morning, 10 after 1. I'm at mile marker 147.8. I just went through an area called, it's labeled on there's a plane crash. And there's a plane crash that took place on this mountain back in the 80s. I think I looked it up. It was a non-fatal crash. I think there were 3 passengers. They were in IFR condition instrument. The mountain was surrounded in fog. And I guess either for whatever reason, altitude was wrong or the altimeter wasn't set right. Or whatever, they struck the top of the mountain with the trees, and I think there were 3 people on board, and I think they survived. I didn't see any of it. I don't know if you have to climb up to the actual ridge, but you know, I'm just walking on the trail. I didn't see anything. I know the debris is up here. It was very, very common back then. You know, there was no, you know, laws or environmental reasons. They would just leave the wreckage usually there. They would come out and investigate. You know, there was no reason to recover it because it's not a fatality, and they knew the circumstances around it. I'll look it up when I get back on NTSB, and I'll put in a little blurb. I remember looking it up once before when I was planning, and I just have to find the right crash report. So, but I'm sure it's pilot error due to, you know, IFR conditions. Maybe he flew, you know, visual flight rules into instrument flight rules, or went into bad weather above his capabilities and made a mistake. I've pretty much realized I'm not going to make Oki shelter today. I don't think I can physically do that. Some of the mountains, I just climbed up like 1,900 feet. I was doing a mile an hour on the way up here, so I definitely slowed down. Maybe I can pick it up a little bit on the way down, but I'm looking for a shorter location. I'm going to check the map now. I have an AT&T service up here, so I was able to phone home, check in with my wife. It's been, you know, 2 days since I spoke to her, so, or a day and a half. So I let her know I'm okay and told her what's going on, and I'm good. So I'm going to keep making tracks here. I'm going to try and look on the map and see what options there are coming up. There's another shelter coming up first, but that one is only like 3 miles away. I'll definitely make that one, but it's still too early for me to stop. I'd like to push on a little further. So I'd like to still try to do 20 miles today. So we're going to check it out and come up with a plan of action. So we may still shoot for Oakley, but I think I'd have to be hiking in the dark, or you know, with a headlamp to make that tonight. I don't think I can make it by 6. I've just been going too slow. The miles haven't been coming fast enough, I don't think. So we'll see. Check in later. Here's a nice view. I don't know what town that is, but beautiful view of mountain range in the distance, a valley. You can see the buildings, the farms. Well, it's 140. I'm crossing mile marker 149. Water should be coming up in about a mile and a half or 2, something like that. I'm probably going to drink a lot and then refill. I'm still hoping to be able to do another 8.5 or 9 miles or so to make it to Oki shelter, but I'm also realizing that I may run out of time. This rain and the cold front is supposed to be moving in tonight. I don't know what time that's going to be, if that's going to be 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I'm hoping it holds off until I can get to the shelter. I may stay in the shelter tonight because it's supposed to rain, or I may just stay by the shelter in my tent. And I'll see what I'll do. Didn't see the plane crash, but I didn't take time out. I say I'm never going to do it, but I keep doing the same thing. I push myself to do the mileage. I was able to, like I said, get some reception up on top of the mountain, but I'm coming down now finally after climbing up, and I have no reception. I was going to reach out to the POC and let Nathan know how I'm doing. Hopefully I'll get reception up ahead, and I'll be able to let him know how I'm doing so I can keep him apprised of my progress, because obviously my ride back to my car is dependent on him, and I figure he needs to make arrangements, you know, and that's not something he can do spur of the moment. So, but I'm still hoping for Sunday or Monday. You know, if I can do a day like today, I mean, obviously I'm in striking distance in 2 days of reaching Cave Springs right now. So it's looking better and better for Sunday depending on the terrain, and I gotta look to see what the weather's gonna be. I know it's gonna be chillier, which hopefully will be for better hiking. I just gotta look at the terrain as well. And, you know, if I can definitely do that mileage today, then I can do 2 15-mile days and make it, and that's more realistic. And I'll still make it to Cave Springs, you know, probably Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. It's 2:20. I just passed mile 150 at a stream where I drank, rehydrated, and I filled up 2 liters of water. So I'm carrying 2 liters of water. The Oki shelter is 7 miles away. I think I have 4 more hours of daylight. I think I can do that. It'll be close, depending on the terrain, but it looks like I can do it. So I'm going to push for that. And even if I have to come in, I guess, a little after sundown or whatever, I should be able to make it, as long as I'm able to hold out and push myself to do 7 miles. If the terrain stays like it is, I'll be able to do a little better than that, and I'll get there a little bit before sundown. So that's the plan right now. We're going to make an attempt to push for it. It's going to be a long day. Tomorrow will definitely be a shorter day. I don't think I can do this again, and I have to look at the terrain. But like I said, I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'm worried about today. So I'm going to push on and see if I can make that shelter. If we fall short, we fall short. We have 2 liters of water, so I'm good for the night. I definitely can hold off drinking for the next 7 miles, so I can come into camp with 2 liters. And here's another little kiosk information. I'm coming up to Forest Service 500 again. I think there's the same road. I've been crossing it multiple times over the last couple days. So I'm interested to see the sign on the other side, which tells me what's coming up. I want to see how far that shelter is. Hopefully it's 6.5. Once again, no traffic. Oh, there's actually some people up there. I don't know what they're doing, but we'll keep going. I do have some climbs coming up, so I know it's going to slow me down. Okay, so the North Duggar Mountain Shelter is a 1/4 mile, but the Oakley Mountain Shelter is 6 miles. So that's our target for the day. And I think that's very doable. I've reached the Duggar Mountain Shelter sign and the trail. I'm going to continue on the Pinhoti to the Oki Mountain Shelter. In Gut Hooks, it's incorrectly named Oakley, like the sunglasses, with an L. But obviously the sign there says Oki, and even I believe the sign on the shelter says Oki as well. So I'm assuming Gut Hooks will fix that eventually. It actually should be less than 6 miles since we went at least a 1/4 mile, but we'll call it 6. And I got 4 hours to do it in, so I think it's more than doable. I've got some climbs in front of me. I've got probably a 1,400 or 1,500 foot climb total between ups and downs. I just climbed up probably about 200-300 feet, and it's still rising more to go over those mountains in front of us to come on down on the other side. But I think even with that rising elevation, I'll still be able to make the miles. I'm hopeful. I think, no matter what, even if it does slow me down to a below 2 mile an hour pace, that I think I can still make it, even if I have to hike in with my nightlight. And we'll see who's there. Hopefully nobody's there. I'll use the shelter. I don't know if I'll pitch my tent or stay in there. It's supposed to be cold tonight, and it's supposed to be some rain. So I might take advantage of the shelter. It's almost 3:30. I have 4.5 miles or so to get to the shelter. And just came upon this view, and just absolutely beautiful. Mountains up ahead, river or stream, green everywhere. Just nice. Well, keep going. How's that for being in the right place at the right time, huh? Once again, I'm coming out. I'm at mile 153 now, in this nice little meadow. And there should be a dam up ahead. I'm going to pass over that as well. Enjoy this relatively flat but wide expanse and no rocks. Mount Katahdin, Maine, 2441.6. I don't think we'll be going that far. But I guess if you started at Flag Mountain and you were going to do the whole trail, that's what you have to look forward to. I can't imagine that. We're going back in the woods. We just passed over the Terrapin Creek, I guess. I got about 3.9 miles left to get to the shelter. And it's 3:41, so it'll be close. It's 5 o'clock. I have 1.7 miles left to get to the Oki shelter. I just did probably the hardest part of trail I've ever done, partially because I'm so tired and it's late in the day. I was crawling up there, literally. It's a 1,200-foot climb, more or less. So luckily I'm going down now. Hopefully there's no more up. I'm whipped. And looking forward to getting to the shelter. I'm hard to believe. What a roller coaster of emotions today. You know, we're starting out thinking, okay, positive, and I really thought I wasn't going to make it. And then later on, realizing that maybe I could make it. I didn't know about that climb over here, and how hard it was going to be. Might have changed my mind. Also, my watch has given out, ran out of power, so it shut down. I think it still keeps counting internally, but the display is done. So I don't know. Can't tell the time from it. I can't tell my pace or anything else like that. The pace is really what I care about. So that's why I've considered buying a new watch, some with more power. Okay, check in soon. It's 5:51. I'm arriving in the area of the Oki shelter. I'm going to turn it around so you can see. I am whipped. There it is. That's my first view of it. All I can say is, can't believe I made it. And I'd say the last hour and a half, 2 hours, the last 2.8 miles have been the toughest for me, physically and psychologically, because of my fatigue and just in general. And it looks like I'm going to have the place to myself tonight. There won't be any campfire, but there will be laying down and rejoicing. Oh, goodness, I can't believe I made it. And there's a bandana here that belongs to Gas Tank. I'm going to get that to him as well. Here it is. I worked so hard to get here. So I'm happy and proud of what I've done today. And I'll come back with a recap. I just got to sit down, get my shoes off. Figured I'd do a recap now. It's about 6:30. I'm eating my dinner, Idahoan potatoes. I think it's a loaded potato or everything. It's got bacon and butter or whatever. It's good. I'm going to eat the whole thing because I'm hungry. I did a 23.8 mile day today. Way more than I expected. I even doubted myself arriving here, if I can. And by the way, I don't think I mentioned my dinner yesterday was more like fettuccine with... It was supposed to be fettuccine with butter sauce. It was more like fettuccine with butter soup. It did hydrate and get soft, but it never thickened up. I think you have to cook it and get the, the starches and probably some other chemical reaction it has to take with the heat to make it thicken, like a thickening agent, almost like you would use flour or something like that. It has to be heated to thicken up. So next time I'll just cook it. I did make it. Did make the potatoes in my cup. Long, hard day. That was the last 2.5 miles were probably the hardest things I've ever done in terms of reaching in and just pushing myself to go on to make this here. So I am happy and proud to have made it here. I know it was a hard day. Tomorrow will be a shorter day. I actually have service up here. I have AT&T as a carrier, and I actually have 2 bars. So I just texted home, and I texted Nathan at the POC. Haven't got an answer back, but I let him know where I'm at, And I'm thinking that Sunday evening or afternoon will be a Cave Springs arrival. I'm going to look at the map tonight and plan where I'm going to go tomorrow. It'll definitely be a shorter day. So it's cold front supposed to be coming in tonight. There's supposed to be some rain. I'm actually going to enjoy the shelter. I'm not going to set up my tent today. I'm the only one here, so I can spread out and move my stuff like I usually do. Explode my gear all over the place. I don't have to worry about encroaching on other people's property. So I'm going to get doing what I do. There's no water here, so I took up 2 liters. I've already used 1 between drinking and cooking, and I got the other one. I just flavored it with electrolyte mix. I'm going to drink it up. I'll probably have half of it today. I might save a little bit. I think there's water the next 2 or 3 miles. So the first water I come to, obviously, I'll camel up a little bit. Refill both liters and drink as much as I can at that point as well. But I know I don't have to go too far, and I know I'm more than able to go several miles before I need to drink. I'm going to start out hydrated, more or less. So that's it. We'll see what the weather brings. So far, the weather's held. No rain or anything. I don't know when it's supposed to be coming. I know overnight. I know about 1 or 2 o'clock there was supposed to be rain. So we'll see what happens. I got some stuff to do here. Pushing hard. The trail is overgrown, and there were a lot of blowdowns going up Duggar Mountain. So it did slow me down a lot. And this last 1.5 miles was a 1,200-foot climb to get to the shelter, which is right on the trail. So it's not like I had to come here anyway. But I probably could have stopped sooner at some other place. There were probably some other better sites here. The hiker that I met, not today, yesterday, Gas Tank, asked me if I passed through here to look to see if he left a bandana. He left it hanging up, which he did. I found it, and I took a picture and I sent it to him since I have service. And I just stuck it in a Ziploc bag. I'm going to take it with me. So I'll see about getting an address from him and mailing it back to him. If he gets reception, I don't know where he's at right now. I know he probably made Cave Spring. He probably made Heflin yesterday, but he may have started again. He may not have service, but he'll get the message eventually, and he'll get me an address, and I'll mail him back his bandana. I guess it has some, it's been a lot of trips with him, so that's it now. So I'm going to get down to business, eating my food, because I'm really, really hungry. After I finish eating my Idaho and potatoes, I'm going to eat this beef stick, and then I'll put my garbage up. Since I won't be able to wash this out, I'll probably put this up too in the food bag, and I'll worry about it tomorrow. So that's going to be it for now. Well, it's 7 o'clock. I finished eating, cleaned up. Gonna sign the register probably. Got my sleeping pad and bag almost ready to go. Hung up my... Sorry, I was thinking about something else. Hung up my pack. Also, I recovered a bandana that Gas Tank left here. I've already communicated with him. I'm going to see about leaving it with the POC, since he's probably going to use them at the end, or see if I can mail it to him at the end. And in the distance there, I don't know if it's hard to see, let me get a little closer. I got my food bag hanging in the tree. So I'm going to get comfortable. There's supposed to be a 20-degree drop in temperature tonight. So we'll see how that goes in the morning. I'm going to look at the map, figure out where I'm going to go, or what I'm going to plan on going tomorrow, so that I can make it to Cave Springs on Sunday. The idea is to do as much miles as possible tomorrow, and then Sunday have less miles, so I can get in there a decent hour. But honestly, I start early, so even if I had to do 15 miles, I should make it there by like 2, 3 o'clock. Depending on the terrain again, I got to look at the map. So I studied the earlier portions. As it goes on, I generally study it less and less because I have less time to contemplate what I'm going to do. So all of it depends on what happens earlier. So you can't really plan as much. It's really an exercise in futility, because even if you plan on going to a certain place, you don't know if the previous days, 8 days, 9 days are going to leave you in a position to get there or go to that campsite. So I really don't bother going out too many days and planning, just ballparking, that's it. The first couple of days are the most important ones. And after that, you have to be flexible. Okay, have a good night. And to everyone at home, to my wife, to my children, I love you, I miss you, and thank you.